Good morning. Today we are going to take up exercise 7.4, which is based on the integrals of special functions. Now, in our previous two videos, we had taken the first six of the special functions and their integrals. That is integral of 1 upon x squared minus a squared and its square root. Similarly, integral of a squared minus 1 upon a squared minus x squared and that of its square root, and then we took up integral of 1 upon x squared plus a squared and that of its square root. Now if you observe carefully, their results are somewhat similar in pairs. Like if you just observe integral of 1 upon x squared minus a squared and 1 upon a squared minus x squared, the results are somewhat similar. They only differ in, like here the x minus a term is in the numerator whereas x plus a term is in the denominator, and here it's just the opposite, that is the plus term is in the numerator, minus is in the denominator. Similarly, this result integral of x squared o plus a squared and under root 1 upon under root of a squared minus x squared, these are similar, and this result has 1 upon a. Now this one has tan inverse x upon a term, whereas this one has sine inverse x upon a term. But still there is another difference, that is here there is a coefficient 1 upon a and here there is the coefficient is missing. Similarly, the last pair of results, that is 1 upon under root of x squared minus a squared and 1 upon under root of x squared plus a squared, are also somewhat similar. Similar result, log of x plus whatever is the denominator, that plus a constant. Here also log of x plus whatever is the denominator plus a constant. So you can observe that these are very similar and they differ by, there is a minute difference between each of them. So sometimes it may get confusing in order to learn them up. That is why how we derive the result come to our aid, that rather than mugging them up and then getting confused at the time of examination, it's always better to know exactly, and it's just a 2-3 step thing to derive these results. Okay, so you can just then and there, if you are getting see, if you know it for sure, you can directly use it, apply it to the questions. But in case of slightest of doubt also, rather than using a wrong result and getting the whole question wrong because of that, it will be advisable to derive it then and there and see whether this is in the numerator or the plus sign is in the numerator, in these two cases, or whether there is a coefficient or there is no coefficient in case of tan inverse and sine inverse result and all that. Okay, so that would be really nice if you could derive it and be doubly sure before using it in your questions. Now these 6 results also can be added to your long list of results for integration, and they have to be repeatedly written down so that to master them. Okay, now let's start with exercise 7.4 and in that and see how these results come handy. Now exercise 7.4 and question number 1, we have to find the integral of 3x squared over x cubed plus 1 into dx. Now first of all, before doing anything, now we observe that it's a case of substitution. Now here you have a 6th power term of x, whereas here you have 3x square. So in case if we put x cube equal to t, we get 3x square dx is equal to dt. Okay, so this part gets absorbed in dt, and so this gets simplified to dt over t squared plus 1. Now this is one of the forms of what we did just now, like 1 upon x squared plus a squared, we have a result. Here in place of a we have 1, and so we directly use it and we get the result as 1 upon a, which is 1, tan inverse x upon a, which is 1 plus c, and so this comes out to be tan inverse x plus a constant. Sorry, tan inverse t plus a constant. Now this t has to be again replaced back in terms of x, and so we get I is equal to tan inverse. Now in place of t we'll be writing x cube plus a constant. So isn't it simple? That first thing, like all this will come only with practice. You have to be able to tune or train your mind in such a manner that you are able to identify what is to be substituted. That's the first thing, and second, which result to be used. Now let's take up question number 2. So what do we have? I is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 4x square whole under root. Now here what we do is, the easiest way of doing it is just taking this 4, which is the coefficient of x outside, and then dealing with it, so that there is no confusion and you don't get trouble. Because here if you just see, the coefficient is 4x square, can be written as 2x whole square, and then if you want to do it directly, which you are always tempted to, then you are bound to make mistakes. So easiest is just first remove the coefficient. And how do we remove the coefficient? Square 4, when you take common out of that square root, it will come out to be 2. What will we be left with? 1 upon 4 plus x square whole under root into dx. Now we deal with this result. Clearly it is in the form under root of 1 upon under root of a squared plus x squared, where a is equal to 1 upon 2. A squared means 1 upon 2 whole squared. Okay, so therefore now the result for 1 upon under root of a squared plus x squared is, or x squared plus a squared is log of x plus under root of x squared plus a squared. So we have now integral of 1 upon under root of a squared plus x squared dx is equal to log of x plus under root of a squared plus x squared plus a constant, where a is equal to 1 upon 2. So what do we get? We get this as I is equal to half is as it is. Now here directly we write the answer, that is log of x is as it is plus under root of 1 upon 2, that whole square, which is 1 upon 4 plus x squared plus a constant. You can just leave it like this. This is also accepted. Or if you want to bring it, usually we want to leave it in the form which the question is given. Now the question is given to us in 1 plus 4x square and whole under root form. So we also want to leave the answer like this. So what we can, but at this stage also you can leave the answer. So what do we get? 1 upon 2 log. Now what I get is 1 plus 4x square upon 4 whole under root plus a constant. This 4 comes out, becomes 2, and so this becomes half of log of 2x plus under root of 1 plus 4x whole square plus a constant, and minus half log 2, because denominator of this whole thing had the denominator 2, which can be split up as minus half log 2. This can be replaced with a constant, and so we get the result as half log 2x plus under root of 1 plus 4x square plus some constant which we can write as k. And this is the answer. Otherwise you can leave the answer in this form also. This is also correct. Now we come to the third question. Third question says that integral of 1 upon under root of 2 minus x whole squared plus 1. This you do directly by substitution. Put 2 minus x as t minus dx is dt, and so I comes out to be minus of dt over t squared plus 1, and directly you get the answer as minus of again tan inverse t plus c, and this comes out to be minus tan inverse t is 2 minus x plus a constant. No, this is square root. This is square root, which is the same result as this. Sorry, my mistake. It's not tan inverse. It is the same result as this one. And so we get, this comes out to be I is equal to log of t plus square root of t squared plus 1 plus a constant. And this comes out to be log of, now you substitute back, 2 minus x minus under root of 2 minus x whole squared plus 1 plus a constant. So same way you can try out the other questions also. So we come to the next question, that is question number 4. Now this can be handled in the similar manner. So let's see. I is equal to 1 upon square root of 9 minus 25 x square. Again there is a coefficient 25 with x. So what we do is, first of all, our aim is to make the coefficient of x square as 1, and the simplest way of doing it is taking 25 common. So if you take 25 common, it comes outside the square root and it becomes 5. And then we get, this is dx, so you get 1 upon dx is there, square root of 9 upon 25 minus x square. Now clearly it is in the form integral of dx over under root of a squared minus x squared, where a is equal to 3 upon 5. It can be written as 3 upon 5 whole under root. Okay, and the result for square root of 1 upon square root of a squared minus x squared is sine inverse x upon a plus a constant. So we can directly apply this result and get the answer as 1 upon 5 sine inverse. Now in place of x we have x only, in place of a we have 9 upon, a is 3 upon 5 plus a constant. So you simplify it and you get I is equal to 1 upon 5 sine inverse 5x over 3 plus a constant. Now coming to the next question, exactly on the same lines we get 5 is question number 5 is 3x over 1 plus 2x raised to power 4 dx. This one is similar to question number 1. So first of all we have to remove this 2 and then we start working on it. So first of all we remove 2, we get 1 upon 2 plus x raised to power 4 dx. Then we observe that here we have to the power 4, whereas in the numerator we have only x. X comes in the derivative of x square. So what we'll do is we will put x square as t. This gives us 2x dx is dt. Now substituting back we get I is equal to, now 1 upon 2 is as it is there, 3 is as it is there. Now in place of x dx we will write dt upon 2 whole upon, now in place of half we have as it is, and this becomes t square. Now this is in the form integral of a squared plus t squared, whose result we know is 1 upon a tan inverse a squared plus x squared, whose result we know it is x upon a plus a constant. So substituting and solving we get 3 upon 4. Now 1 upon a is 1 upon 2 under root, because see here we have to have a square term, so we can write it as 1 upon under root 2 whole square. Now what do I get? 1 upon under root of 2 tan inverse t upon a. So t is this 1 upon under root of this plus a constant. Now we simply simplify it. We get 3 root 2 upon 4 tan inverse root 2t plus a constant. Substituting the value of t, we get I is equal to 3 root 2 upon 4 tan inverse root 2. In place of t, we will have x squared plus a constant. Same way we can do, try out question number 6, 7, 8 and 9, and then exactly on the same lines. Okay, so in the next video we'll be continuing with another set of results of special integrals and the related problems of exercise 7.4. Thank you.